What's going on, Survivor? Hope you're having a great day today. Welcome back to the channel. I've had a couple of you guys ask me to put together a beginner's guide. A lot of you guys are new, so first I want to say welcome to Project Zomboid. Knox County always needs more survivors. Glad you're here. And I get it. I remember when I first started playing. Project Zomboid is by far my favorite zombie game, but it's definitely got a steep learning curve, and compared to games like 7 Days, I like 7 Days to Die, don't get me wrong, but 7 Days, they got to take your health all the way down, where Project Zomboid, one bite and your run is done. So, a little bit of a different, more challenging situation, which is what I think most of us love about it. It's a lot more realistic of a zombie game. But let's get started. Alright, so what I'm going to recommend is for your first playthrough, you go Survivor. For now, we're going to ignore challenges and ignore these mods here. That's more intermediate, advanced type stuff as far as I'm concerned. This is a beginner's guide. We're going to stick with the basics and the core game. So we're going to not do sandbox. I might pop in there just to show you a couple things, but we're not going to worry about that. I've never ran Builder. Construction, exploration, and farming focus, a more relaxed experience. I've never ran that. I recommend you running Survivor. Powerful combat, long lifespan, a challenging play style based on PZ's previous survival mode. And then later on, go with Apocalypse. This is a fun one. Stealth focus, short lifespan, combat best avoided. I disagree with that. I really appreciate the combat in Apocalypse, but it's best to go ahead and get comfortable with the game first. So go with Survivor. There's going to be 4 spawn points: Moldrog, Riverside, Rosewood, and West Point. Spawn in Rosewood. By far the easiest spawn point. It's got the less loot. Every other location has more loot, but you have fewer zombies, fewer locations to explore, and it is the best. You're going to see a lot of people looking at this fire station right here. It's a great base, good armor with fireman gear, and good weapons. Across the street's the police station. Basically everything's on this main road. This is your grocery store right here. You got some food shops up in here, and then you got a gas station all the way down on this road, and then you get out of Rosewood and move on with your journey. Rosewood's the easiest. Riverside's the next easiest. You can kind of see not too huge, little bigger, and then Moldrog would be the next difficult. You see, much bigger, a lot more zomboids here, and then West Point's going to be the most difficult, much bigger, many more zomboids. So we'll go Rosewood. Let's get on in here. Alright, before we get started, hit that subscribe button and that like button. Really helps smaller channels like this one grow. I very much appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Alright, so I'm not going to go through all of the occupations and all of the traits, because that will take forever, and I know you're anxious to play the game, excited to play the game, and you want to get in there, so we're going to talk about a little bit. There's some occupations I'm not going to touch at all, like engineer, making traps and bombs. I wouldn't do that starting off. You need to wait till you're a little more comfortable with the game, and then you can do stuff like that. But what I would recommend is doing a class like Lumberjack. If you want to do melee, you have like the Axeman, faster axe swing. That's really good. It's really OP. You have good strength, good axe skill with that Axeman swing going fast. Very hard to lose. I know a lot of people like veteran. I'm not as big on veteran because the big perk here is desensitized. You don't get panic. But the longer you survive, the more zomboids you kill in Project Zomboid, your panic, it doesn't really become an issue anyway. There are certain things you can take to make your panic go away. I just wouldn't worry about that. Fire officer's a good one. Veteran is the best to get rid of panic because you don't get it, but fire officer is really good for panic too. And then police officer is another good option if you want to go more of the firearm route. You have aiming, nimble, and reloading, so that's something to think about. But I would look at maybe doing one of those till you get comfortable with the game. Alright, so let's start looking at traits. There are positive traits in the green, which give you negative points, and then there are negative traits that give you positive points. Let's go with, I'm just going to go with unemployed. I guess my cam's here, so but you have 8 points to spend if you have unemployed. In order to log into the game, I'm pretty sure you know now, to get into the game, you need to have your points either zeroed out or you need to be positive points. If you have negative points, you can't enter the game. So, well, what I always like to do is start with my negatives. There are definitely some negatives that are worse than others, like cowardly, especially prone to becoming panicked. Then you have like short-sighted. Short-sighted is free points. When you do your character build, you can put glasses on your character, or if you forget to do that, just pick up a pair of glasses. It offsets that. Slow reader. This one, let's go back real quick, because I want you to, there's a big difference. Solo, I would say do it and get comfortable with surviving for a week. That's going to get you comfortable with knowing how the sleep cycle works and exhaustion works, which are two mechanics in the game which make a huge difference. So once you get comfortable with those, you're good. Then I would probably host a game. You can always tell multiplayer from solo play if you see videos online, and when you get used to it, if you see names over character's head, multiplayer. If you don't see names, solo. But with multiplayer, you don't need to sleep, and the exertion kind of basically just goes away, which makes sense. If you're logging on and you want to play with your friends, you can't really do different sleep patterns, because that would be a problem. You know, when you go to sleep, time speeds up. Well, if you got other people playing, it can't speed up. So, you know, I totally get that. But solo is a lot more realistic of a playthrough as well, because you have to sleep and everything. But I totally get why you can't do that on multiplayer. It makes sense. And when you do stuff like slow reader, you could just fast forward through that, but not if you're doing multiplayer. So it's just things to think about, the differences between single play and multiplayer. But we're talking about solo play particularly, and we're going to go back with Survivor, picking the spawn in Rosewood. And now let's look at our points. That's what I kind of want to talk about with slow reader. You take that, it's free points. You can just speed up time and you read your book or your magazine, instruction manual, whatever. Short sight is a good one. Change glasses. Weak stomach. There's tons of food in the game. Don't eat rotten food. Basically, is all you need to do with that. It's basically free points, and it's not like food's really stressful in the game. There's tons of it around. Hearty appetite. Again, tons of food. Free points. Just grab it. Tons of food around. Prone to illness. Now, if you have this and weak stomach and you eat some rotten food, that could be a how your story ends. But again, just avoid rotten food. Smoker. Cigarettes are considered junk. So this is basically free points. The only other thing cigarettes are used for is to make a concoction for your plants to take care of illnesses they get. I think it's flies that it gets rid of. I don't think it's mildew, but it could be mildew. It's milk for one, cigarettes for the other. Never really care to remember, I guess, because there's plenty. You never have to worry about this stuff. High thirst. Tons of water in this game. Let's go back real quick. Custom sandbox. Let me hop in here real quick. Alright. Not going to really worry about population, zombie lore, advancing that stuff. This is beginner. I'm not worried about that. What we're going to look at is world. You see that you have water and electricity shut off. I really never touch any of this stuff. 0 to 30 days is the default. So within the first month, you're going to lose water and you're going to lose power. To me, when you lose power, that's when the game gets going. Alright, so let me get back. Alright, so high thirst, water everywhere. Once the water is cut off, it's not like the sinks and the tubs and the toilets drain. All of your sinks and toilets and tubs are still full of water. You can harvest those. Once those are dried up, then you can go to ponds, you can go to rivers, you can harvest water from those, boil them, and you're good to go. Carpentry, you can build water collectors. Just water's never an issue. Just make sure you have a bottle on you so that you can fill it up and you're good with water. Slow healer, you're not going to get bit or scratched, right? So those are just some free points. Go ahead and take that. Yeah, those are like basically the gimmies. And there's other things that you can do as well, like overweight. It does have negatives. Reduced running speed, low endurance, prone to injury, -2 to fitness. That sucks. You can gain more fitness, you can lose weight in this game, and you can get rid of the overweight. So you get free points and you can fix that, right? So just different things you want to look at when you think about that, when you're picking negatives. Let's go up here to the positive traits, because there's definitely differences up here as well. Like if you look at Cat's Eyes, this is a good one. It's only 2 points. It helps you see better at night, and once electricity goes out, this really does get a whole lot better of a skill. Very nice to have for 2 points. Dexterous, this, let's say you see a sweet crowbar on a Zomboid or a military backpack, but there's a group of chompers coming down on you, right? This could be the difference between you getting that backpack off and you having you a sweet military backpack and having to run. So, Dexterous is a very good one. Fast Reader, I don't take that. Think about it. You can just speed up time in the solo. Now, some of this stuff matters. I guess it would matter if you're doing multiplayer. That would help you in multiplayer. But in solo, you just speed up time. Outdoorsman, not affected by harsh weather conditions. I mean, I've never really had that be much of an issue unless you're doing a challenge, but we're not talking about that now. We're just doing a normal playthrough, and you just put on more clothes or take clothes off, right? To me, Wakeful's one of the good ones that you want to take. Need less sleep. You have vitamins and you have sleeping pills in the game. Plenty of them. Vitamins drop off Zomboids. There you find them in bathrooms, cars, grocery stores. They're all over the place. So don't worry about sleeping pills and vitamins. You can regulate that stuff. Alcohol, if you drink that in the game, it will make you drunk, but it also makes you tired quicker. So there's a lot of things that you can regulate your sleep on. So having Wakeful is basically a good skill to have, because I don't want to sleep if I don't have to. Lucky. That's hit or miss, right? The luckiest I've ever been is I spawned in West Point. First house I went into had 2 katanas in it. I couldn't freaking believe that, because katanas don't spawn in Zomboids, I think, until after 100 days, and then they'll start spawning in Zomboids, but you can find them in survivors' houses. This wasn't even a survivor's house. I went in, and it was like a survivor's house, but it wasn't boarded up. But it was chock full of weapons. And when I found those 2 katanas, I was like, yo, this is going to be a great run. And then I got like gobbled up like 2 days later, so that sucked. But anyway, there's a lot of good stuff in here. Fast Learner's a good one. Get you increased XP gains so you can level quicker. But if you're doing a long run, there's glitches and stuff you can do in the game as well. I typically don't do a lot of glitches. I just want to play and build my character skills up as they go. But there's glitches you can do that'll get stuff up. But Fast Learner, that would help. I think one of the big helpful ones is Keen Hearing. It will cost you 6 points, but if a Zomboid comes up behind you and you get attacked from behind, you have a much higher probability of getting bit, because they kind of get through your armor a lot easier. So that sucks. Bit, it's over. And I think with scratches also, there's like a 7% chance that you can get the Zomboid virus. So scratches can suck too, but having Keen Hearing will give you more of an opportunity to see what's coming from behind you and a chance just to get out of harm's way, no problem. Then you come down here and you got stuff like Strong. Let me get rid of overweight. So you got stuff like Strong and an Athletic. strong, extra knockback for melee weapons, increased carrying capacity plus 40 your strength, and athletic, faster running speed, can run for longer without tiring, for fitness. They're very good. But if you're doing a long play, you can train. You can train strength, you can train athleticism, your fitness, and you're good to go. You don't have to worry about that. But I kind of like taking strong if I can myself because I like the increased carrying capacity. But it's not necessary. But yeah. All right, let's yeah, as far as basic goes, that's really all I would be worried about doing. Of course, when you get in here, you look at stuff like, gymnast. That's another good one. Where is gymnast at? That's a 4, ain't it? 5. Okay. So light foot, nimble. Those are really good skills, and they're hard to level up. It's good to have bonuses. Not a whole lot of stuff gives you bonus to nimble and light foot. So gymnast is a good one. Sewer. Yeah. +1 to tailoring. Don't sleep on tailoring. Tailoring is one of the most OP abilities in the game because you can put patches on your armor and on your gear and stuff, and that could definitely save you from getting bit. Tailoring is something you want to level in this game, but you don't need sewer to do that. It's pretty easy to level tailoring. Actually, I have a tailoring guide on my channel, so check that out if you want. Yeah, let's keep going. So yeah, and here when we talk about glasses, boom, you can just throw some glasses on there, But let's head into the game. There's a couple more pointers I want to show you, and we'll discuss, and then we'll wrap this up because this is just a beginner's guide. I'm not trying to talk your ear off and go through everything, but just kind of give you the basics so that you can survive and so that you can get to learn the game, because one of the things I love most about this game is exploring the game and learning a lot about it. The developers and the modding community for Project Zomboid is on point. Just they're outstanding. I can't give these guys enough credit. They're really good at what they do. You can tell everybody really loves this game, and I totally get it. It's my favorite zombie game. But let's hop in the game. We'll look at a couple more things, and then we'll wrap it up. Oh, another thing as well. You gotta remember, this is the story of how you died. So think about it like this. If you do die in the game, you win. It's the whole point, right? It's a way to look at it. Alright. Well, welcome to Knox County. Alright, so not going to go through all the hotkeys, but there are some hotkeys. C is for crouching. When you first log in, if you can find a TV, you're in good shape. There's a bunch of channels. I'm not going to worry about those. The one you need to be focused on is Life and Living. Switch to it. Tune into it. At 6, 12, and 1800, there are shows that'll come on that will increase your experience. You see, my cooking is ticking up now. When you first log in, if you're around a TV, cut it on, you'll get the cooking show. But if not, that comes on at 6 in the morning. At 12 noon, you have your carpentry show. And at 1800, you have your survival skills. Another thing you want to do, you watch a TV, it will give your experience jump. Let's go over here and take a look at that. You see, I got a little bit of cooking, almost got a level off that. What will help you is if you get these books. You see, we have a Mechanics Volume 1. There are 5 volumes to each of these skills here, crafting and a survivalist. If you can read the books to go along with it, as you see, this book gives you an XP multiplier. That's going to really help you level quicker. Oh, look at this. That's incredibly lucky. We got us a key to start off. Let's look at some hotkeys. I'm not going to go through all the hotkeys. Go ahead and check those out when you get a chance, but I will go ahead and go over the few that you're going to be using a lot to get started. C is for crouch. Q is your vocalization key. So if you're crouched and you hit Q, it'll be a whisper. If you stand up, you're gonna yell. So you see the big difference. You know, food to eat, water to drink. Not gonna worry about any of that. Let's see what we got in here. Let's try to grab a weapon if there's a weapon available. We'll grab a screwdriver. Yeah, no weapon available. That's okay. Grab a bandage. Alright. Another thing you want to do. If you're by a door, hit EE, and you can open and flash real quick, and you'll be able to see if there are any zombies in there. One thing you don't want to do is just walk into a room blindly. The game can spawn packs of zomboids in a room, and that's a good way to end your run. So let's get out of here. We'll go walking. Hi, zombie. See if we can find a weapon in here. Okay, yeah, that'll work. So we'll go over combat a little bit. Alright. Okay, continuing on hotkeys. R is for you to reload your firearm. X is for you to clear jams in your firearms. So that'll save you a little bit of time. Let me get rid of this out of the way. Another thing I see a lot of people making mistakes on. Also, if you do Survivor, you have a mini-map down here. If you do Apocalypse, the mini-map is gone. You could just walk away from Zomboids. And there are sprinters in Project Zomboid, but you have to turn those on. So if you're just starting normally, walk. I see a lot of people running around for no reason. You're just going to die tired. There's no point in doing that. So just walk around. And you see, you'll just walk away from them. It's never really stressful. We're going to walk up here to Main Street. This is Rosewood. This is the nice neighborhood that we spawned in. Very nice houses. Garages have really good loot in them. They're always worth checking out. Always check garages if you're looking for weapons. Let's start by going down this street first. Banks. Usually not a whole lot in banks. And let me run a little bit, because I do want to show you something real quick. Be careful for ones that look like they're dead. You just saw that when they just reanimate it. A good way to check that is you can go to them, and if they have loot, they're dead. If they don't have loot, they'll pop back up on you. Let's get down here. When you spawn in Rosewood, one of the first places you want to try to get to is we're basically down here now. Police station is going to be over here, and this is your fire station right here. Tons of weapons. I'm not going to go in these buildings because I'm not trying to take up too much of your time, but you see the police station here. I'll just go down here so you can see the fire station. And then boom, here's the fire station. Got some fire trucks right there. That's really, really nice. And of course, check these fire trucks. Good chance you can get weapons. There's weapons all in here, and of course there's weapons all up in the police station. So now let's go. Let me get this guy tired out. Actually, show you something else that you can look at too. Don't get freaked out in this game. Just remember, this is your world now. They're in your world. No cars here. Oh well. It happens. Every now and then, you know, there's a good chance they'll spawn stuff in there. Alright, so let's move a little further up this way. You see as you run, you get overheated. Yeah. Pink versus the darker these moodles get. Red or pink moodles are negatives. Green moodles are positive. If they're light pink, don't really worry about it. It doesn't have very much effect on your character, but if they start getting darker than pink, it becomes a problem, so you need to start addressing them. Oh, we're already starting to get thirsty. I will pop up here and I will grab a bottle and a drink real quick. I am trying to get this guy tired real quick. Smokes. Let me get rid of these guys right quick. One-on-one, no problem, but I'll show you how to handle large groups of zomboids. You just don't handle them the same way. You don't want to... Wow. You kill zomboids in a building. This is another thing. They can drop a key. If they drop a key, you have access to unlock all the doors in here. In each building. So like the thing with the police station, there is a weapons room. It's usually locked, but if you drag zomboids in there and drop them, they have a chance to drop a key, and then you can just unlock the door to get you some guns and ammo. Alright, so now we got us some water. We can keep moving on. Here you got your doctor's office here, so you get plenty of medical supplies. But here's one of your points of interest in Rosewood. It's Book Naked. You can get all of your reading materials here, which is very beneficial. Hey, let's go into the country buffet and get us some lunch. We'll grab and eat us a burger, and we should get us a positive buff here. Boom. So now we got stuffed and well fed. You can attack better, so that's really good. Not gonna worry about that now. Another thing you want to think about too, here's your fashion bell. Boom, bunch of clothes in there. If you need to find some boots or some better protective gear, there you go. Also with tailoring, if you take clothes and rip up clothes on zomboids, they're going to be a lot of bloody ones. You're going to have to clean them up, which means you'll need water and resources. So I typically try to get clothes in houses or in like clothing stores like that. Boom, here we go. Here's our grocery store. Ton of food, vegetables, meats down here, all sorts of stuff. Alright, well, you know what? This is actually a good point to start showing you how to deal with large groups, right? So what you want to do is you just want to make sure you kite them back. Just keep moving. Don't let them catch up with you. Spacebar pushes them off of you. If they get too close, you can actually swing and take them and push them away as well. But spacebar is very, very easy. Just push them off of you if they get too close. And you see, you can just walk away from them. So don't let them freak you out. Just walk away. And you just got to remember, they're very, very stupid. They are just a bunch of rotters. I'll bring them on. Come on, guys. But this is your main street in Rosewood. It's going to be where you're going to do most of your looting. And then other than that, you got your houses. You would start with your nicer neighborhood, so you can get into the garages, and the nice houses have better loot. Oh, nice truck. I like that truck. Oh, this has to deal with my mods as well. That's not in the game. That's a mod that I have. And we're not worrying about that. Oh, that one's got a backpack, but I ain't worried about it because we're not gonna be doing it. But just, you got your food stores and stuff here. Pizza, burgers. Doesn't get much better than that. Let me run over here. I gotta do better at running so I can tire this guy out, so I can show y'all a little bit about exertion. In-game mods. Alright, so here we are at our gas station. This is the one gas station in Rosewood. This is a place that I like basing up in. You have a top floor. You see that right here. Boom. So you got like a kitchen, a bed, and everything up there. You can take out the stairs, and it's a pretty safe place to sleep. And then you head out that way. That's the street, so you can start going to different places in Knox County. See, we totally walked away from all those guys. You know what? Come on. I'll show you too. If you get a bunch of them on you, remember this. Line of sight. LOS. It works. As soon as you can break the line of sight of zomboids, they lose track of you. They'll go to the last spot that they saw you. So we dip around here, boom, they don't see us anymore. We keep running around this building, they're not going to find us. Come back around this way, boom. You see, they're going down that way. I came around a little too close, but you see some of them even stop. But that's just the thing. Just lose a little line of sight on zomboids. They'll forget about you, and you can go on about your way. Let's go to the last point of interest. Here's a mechanic shop, so you can find you stuff to work on cars and stuff like that. So this is handy. You can also find weapons in here. It's another spot for weapons. Let's see, tire pump and all that stuff. Wrench. I mean, large. Yeah. Some of this stuff is mods. Coveralls are good. You get you a pair of coveralls if you want to level tailoring. Let me grab one. Flashlights. When things get dark. Alright, trying to tire this guy out real quick. So I'll just run. And you see just how easy Rosewood is. Don't ever get stressed on this game. Try to just remember, this is your game. You own this game. These zomboids can't touch you unless you let them. If you start rushing around, that's when you can make mistakes. Just take your time in this game. It's the zombie apocalypse. Nobody's coming to help you. You got to save yourself. And you got years and years and years. Nobody is ever coming to save you. So there's no reason to hurry around. Everything's going to be there. Stuff will rot. Sure. Okay, here we go. Boom. Moderate exertion. Take a break. Now, you can sit down and take a break, or you can just walk. And I'll demonstrate that here. You're going to watch this moodle go away, and I'm just going to walk. And you can walk away from zomboids. So if you start getting tired, remember, that's when you can start. It takes you longer to kill zomboids, and you're going to wear your gear and your weapons out more. See? Boom. Already gone just by walking away. And then you can turn around and fight again. Use fences. When they crawl over fences, boom. Smack them. Keep them down. Alright, let's get down here. I did grab that key. So let me... Wait, there's no car? Usually they give you a key. There's a car. Oh, here's another thing too. Grills. They are going to have propane tanks in them. So you can remove the propane tank. And you'll need propane tank for all sorts of stuff. But there you go. There's your propane tank. You'll need that to like refill your welding torch and stuff like that, so you can work on different skills. And you can also grab the grill when power goes out. You can cook on the grill if you want. Alright, boom, here we go. Got a key to this, so we'll just... Oh, no gas. Oh, well. No big deal. I showed you where the gas station was. You can have you an empty bottle or a gas can, and you can fill you up some gas and bring it on back, hop in the car, and then take it to the gas pump and fill her up. But we are walking to the last point of interest in Rosewood. And, you know, these houses are nice, but I don't really consider them points of interest. They're just housing, and some are better than others. But we want to get to the school. If you're having trouble finding a bag, like we passed that one zomboid that had a backpack, but he was with a group of rotters, so just kind of let that go. Go to the school. It's a good place to find your books. So I showed you where Book Naked is. That's a great POI. Here's a survivor's house. You can always tell a survivor's house because they're boarded up. You can find you some good weapons and loot in there. You can find your weapons and loot everywhere, but survivors' houses definitely have more of that good stuff that you want. But here we are. We're down here at the school. In the school, you can find all sorts of great stuff, not just books for your educational purposes. But here's a medical bay, so you can get you some medical supplies. Here is your library, so you can get you some books and stuff. And you can even go into these classrooms. Teachers, in these desks for teachers, you can find all sorts of stuff like smokes and even alcohol. But in the desks of the students, you can find things like, let me see if I can find any in here. Chocolate. You'll find chocolate, candies, all sorts of stuff in the desk that you can eat. Matter of fact, let's not bypass that chocolate. Let's gobble it up. Yum, 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 yum. If you're walking, you can eat and drink. If you run, you stop it. Let's go ahead and take care of these. Oh yeah, in Survivor you can hit multiple at the same time. I forgot about that too. In Apocalypse you can't, so that's another reason to run Survivor as well. You can do you can hit multiples. There's also you can cut that off in the sandbox. I like to do that. I don't like hitting multiple targets. To me, it's not as fun. You won't get your skill up as quick, right? If you need to make it as difficult on yourself as you can. But boom, more food. Oh, burrito. Yes, I'll take the burrito. But you got your cafeteria here. So boom, you can get you some food. Let's roll down. Check these. Boom, and right here, and grab your backpack. Now you got you a backpack. You can carry more loot. Just highlight the backpack. Open. When you loot, it'll go in there. If you have your main inventory highlighted, it'll go in there. Let's look at these coveralls. See all these parts here. So when you're doing your tailoring, you can this is the best type. A medical coat is also very good because it protects your neck. I don't think this protects your neck. And medical coat is what I usually get and run around with, because you get a little more protection for your throat and your neck. But you can go through these and patch them up and then take them off, and it just saves you a little bit of time when you're leveling up your tailoring skill. There you go. If you find an ambulance, this is another. Yeah, hit E to climb stuff. But if you go into here, boom, trauma bag. We'll just go ahead and grab that. But that's a duffel bag. That's even better than your backpack. But you know, now you got you even a better bag to put on. Boom. All right. So yeah. I think that's about it for basics. If you want to fight groups, remember just to backtrack so they can't get you. And we'll end it while I'll show you why you want to make sure you backpedal and push zomboids away when you're fighting, because if not, you're going to get swarmed by large groups. So let me just get here, and we're going to stand and fight, and you'll see how well this goes. Even with multi-swing, it's a little better, but they're just going to surround you and eat you. So you just want to make sure that you backpedal when you're fighting. Gosh, this guy took a lot to kill. But you just want to make sure that you backpedal when you're fighting. And just remember, don't stress yourself out. If you get in trouble, turn around and just walk away. Go around a building and chill. Try to clear stuff so that you have areas that you can move to. But yeah, I think that's about as much as I want to go into for basics. I don't want to ruin and spoil everything for you, because for me, learning this stuff was just as much fun as it is to play the actual game itself. So I want you guys to have the basics down, but then I want you to explore and learn on your own, and that's going to get you even more into the game, guys. But again, I appreciate you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the end and you like what you saw, if this helped you, please hit that subscribe button and hit a like button and help me out, guys. I'd greatly appreciate that. Alright, guys. Hope you have a great day. Later.